I know this is a bit later than it was supposed to be handed in, but better late than never. I have my essay up. This was a bit hard for me to write, or mainly because it was hard to get it to 6 pages. 6 pages felt a bit long to me. Um, and some of the peer edits were useful. Um, I didn't use all of the peer edits though. One of them was from Maddie. This is probably an area where you could talk about your thoughts, specifically from the walk through Hartford. Recall all the things you thought about when everyone was quiet and able to gather their thoughts. Uh, when I was walking in Hartford, it was hard for me to like think deeply. I don't know, like conceptualize during the walk or something. Cause, well, it was hard to conceptualize this in general because it's about walking, and I just find walking plain and like, oh, it's gonna take me from my room to my kitchen so I can get a drink. That's usually what I think about walking. So conceptualizing for this was harder. But the new essay that we're working on currently is way easier for me to conceptualize because, like, when it's like kind of, I I don't remember the word for it, but it was like easier, I guess. Is that the I think that's the word I'm looking for. Easier to conceptualize a one-way sign because you can, because it's like one way and you're like, "Oh, that's the way I have to go because choice and oh, choice and life is choices." So, I'm probably talking too much about the current essay and not the last one. Um yeah, I didn't res- I didn't think about like too much actually deep stuff. I was like, "Ooh, look, there's a river and there's a building," and that's what I was thinking about. Maddie also said maybe you could add how you felt you fit in with Hartford as a whole, just from your observations on the walk. Uh, the only ah oh wait, I don't think might have had a different personal copy. Yeah, I think I edited to this one. It's still 6 pages or 5, or is this loading? Does it just need to load? My pictures aren't in this, so this is probably, yeah, last edit February 6th, last edit the 16th. Okay, so this is the final one, I guess. So I thought I added some stuff about this. I guess I didn't, but connecting with Hartford was just like, I'm only here because UConn. And that's the bulk of how I connected, how I felt I connected. I mean, I did talk about my personal little discourse community, which is a YouTube thing. Um, it's the commentary community. Whoops, the the commentary community on YouTube. That's the only like way I'm able to like connect. Um, and I did say this is no really talking, but a discourse community I feel part of and I'm very passionate about. Um, what else did Maddie say that I didn't resolve? Maybe you could elaborate on this a little more with the places we visited on the walk. Uh, when I said looking around at all the buildings really makes you wonder its history and when it was built. I didn't pay much attention, honestly, to the history that was mentioned. I know this one building in particular did have a history that was. That got a bit big. Where is it? Here you are. This was some church. I remember it was mentioned. It was a bit interesting. I remember it was being a little interesting. Um, I don't think It didn't keep my interest though, because when I got home, I didn't remember. So let's make that small again. Maddie also added here, you could also try to tie in people's perspective and how that has a role in the way we think and communicate in our discourse communities. I guess I could have put in, I didn't, but restating the community I said. I was a part of the commentating community on YouTube. Because communicating on there is interesting. There's a social media called Discord that we use, and that's kind of like what Maddie was asking. But other people's perspectives in their own communities, I couldn't speak about anyone that I personally know, other than maybe the homeroom I was in junior year of high school, because they were all theater people, way more theatery than I'll ever be. But that's kind of what Maddie's was asking. This is my essay. That's all that was on the list for me to talk about. I talked about everything I wrote down, so I think that's pretty good. So, yeah. See ya.